Hi guys, welcome to Blasphemous. Now, obviously, this isn't a live commentary. This is me coming in from the future. Now, basically, what I was doing here was basically trying to find everything, and I couldn't record and do that because, quite simply, it was just too much work. Finding everything in this game is hard, okay? Now, obviously, I can't comment on every single little thing that I'm finding here, but on this one in particular, in the discrete system, basically there's a little quest here where you have to, the amount of times you leave and re-enter an area, you activate a number, and you have to get these pictures to a certain number, and the bodies on the floor give you a clue. And the solution's actually fairly straightforward. It's 4 and 2, I believe. So 4 on the left, 2 on the right, and that'll open the door in the middle there. If my there we go. So during this little run through, I'm going to be commentating on some of the harder to find things, and also I will be see, I got with the silver grape. I'll be showing you where we are on the map, what we found, and I'll show you the lore and the effect this has. So the silver grape is an increase in defense. Now, I'm not going to talk through the whole thing because there's obviously 2 episodes of this, because like I said, this took me forever. Trying to find everything in this game is so difficult. So difficult. And you're going to see me dive from one area to the next, because I was actually following a guide for a lot of this. So that was the skeletal remains. We're going to be using those later on. I was using a guide for a lot of this because, like I said, a lot of it... Obviously, I need Blasphemous to be... not over, that's the wrong word, but I need to move on to other things. So I wanted to find everything, so I did use a guide for some of it. Some of it was base exploration, and that's absolutely fine. But a lot of it was using a guide to find those last few bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm going to show you where I am on the map. So this got us the bead of gold thread, which is another rosary bead, I believe. Obviously, this was recorded over the course of a few days as well, so it was a case of it was a good few days recording all this. So I hope you appreciate the work that's gone into it, to be honest. So, but yeah, Blasphemous is an awesome game, but like I said, finding everything is tough. I focused primarily on the rosary beads first, because I thought they would probably give me the most sort of attributes. So that was another skeleton bone. So yeah, I do apologise. Like I said, I'm going to be diving backwards and forwards a lot over the course of the episode, I'm afraid. And to be honest, once I knew where things were, some of them were quite easy to get to. It was just knowing where they were in the first place that was the hard part. And obviously it helps because I've already finished the game. I am pretty much uber powerful at this point. Now, this was an area I couldn't enter before because I needed the silver lung of Dolphus, and obviously, as I said in the ending of the credits, the silvered lung is one of those things that opens up a lot of areas, but you don't realise it opens up, if that makes any sense. Like, you sort of forget to go back because obviously you've got things to do. So that was the piece of the golden mask, which I believe was another relic. So that was that's a fire prevention one. So that's really good if you're taking on like Cursay or those, anything that uses a lot of fire. Obviously, be good against what's his face. Yeah, it'll come to me. The hearts with the Escribar, that's the one. The hearts were the hardest thing to know where they were, because like I say, they're the hardest thing to find, I think. But they were the thing I used the least, because there's always a drawback to using them. So that was the thing I used the least, if I'm honest. Oh yeah, this was an interesting one. So Yeah, the Sphere of Sacred Smoke. Yeah, so basically what it does is every time you do an attack, you have the risk of one of your bile flasks filling up, which is really good. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it's pretty awesome. So it's worth keeping on you. And that was in the Wall of Holy Prohibitions, that one. Yeah, I just wanted to check that room, I think. But yeah, there's quite a few secrets here because you have to have the key of the Inquisitor. If you don't have it by the time you come here, it's worth going to grab because, like I say, it's a good item and it unlocks a lot of secrets for you. Yeah, those guys that just appear out of nowhere are a pain in the backside because they can just literally appear. As you saw in the main Let's Play, they're not fun. Now, this is an interesting one because I think this is the one with the gate. So I haven't actually, I intended, yeah, it's the one with the gate. I intended to write a ton of notes for this, but obviously I haven't had time, to be honest. It's nearly Christmas and work's very busy. So that gate there is on the right. You need to ride the elevator up and down multiple times. I think it's 3 times. It might be 4. I can't quite remember. Like I said, this was nearly 2 weeks ago for me. But I'm pretty sure you have to ride it up. You have to ride it up and down at least 3 times. I think it might be 4 at this point. And then the gate will just open on your next sort of pass. Which, how you'd ever work that out, I don't know, but hey, it is what it is. There it is, so it's open now, so it's 3 times. So that gets you Curse's Scorched Bead, which I think is even more fire resistance. Yeah, great protection against fire. Brilliant. So I went back and got the key of the Inquisitor because I realised I was probably going to need it. I love that lunge ability. I don't know if you noticed throughout the normal Let's Play, but I freaking love that ability. And yeah, we got ourselves a chest here. And that gets us a bile vessel. This was something else. I wasn't sure how many bile vessels there were, so I had to look it up, of course, and find out. But we're back in the convent at this point of our child lady. Yeah, taking pretty much anything out in 2 hits now. Oh yeah, this is a tricky little one. So stand in front of the gate and you need to cut yourself to get that one. So that's another sword heart. Yeah, reduces the parry duration, but it makes a righteous riposte a lot easier. Oh yeah, this is the chest in Hondo. that took me ages to figure out how to get there. But obviously, once you've got the three gnarled tongues, it's fairly straightforward. So that's the Solaire of excommunication, which basically makes you a badass. I found that prayers in this game weren't as useful as I thought they'd be. Actually, they're quite difficult to cast because they take a while to get going. So the heart there, that's the end of the super hard part of Hondo. And then there's another item just there as well, which I believe was, yeah, Quicksilver. And then I found a whole new area. I actually found Echoes of Salt by accident. Apparently this is actually a DLC area, I think. Or it's part of the update. It wasn't in the original game. That's for certain. As far as I know anyway. So this is actually a whole new little area that I thought I'd explore. It's a strange one. It's very small and there's not really a lot going on, but there's definitely stuff here. Now this item I wasn't sure how to get. This is one of the ones I had to use a guide for. I don't think I actually got it until later, because I was sort of scratching my head because I knew there wasn't a double jump in this game, which is odd. Because again, you play other Metroidvanias and you think, oh, there must be a double jump mechanic somewhere, and there isn't. There isn't one in this game, sadly. Of course, I was just trying to be sort of tenacious and try not to give up, but yeah, that one I had to look up, and like I said, I'll explain it a bit more later. But you can actually bounce off of these lanterns, which is quite cool. So you'll see me do that. It might be in the second episode. I can't quite remember how these are all split up, but you'll see that a little later. But yeah, this was an interesting little area. Like I say, there wasn't a hell of a lot going on. There wasn't a boss, so if there was a boss, I'd have done a proper recording. But no, it was just an interesting little area, and it sort of connected a few places up. So we ended up going back to the Endless Dusk, which is it's just interesting. So moving on, we are back in the Mother of Mothers, and this is the part with the giant bell. And you have to use the blood perpetuated in sand to get to the top of this sort of staircase. And the next bit's quite tricky because the bell actually comes into the next screen as well, so it's potentially problematic. But as long as you keep your cool and you don't rush, you should be fine. And the result's well worth it, so. And that bell can still hit you, by the way, so be very, very careful here, because that thing does a metric ton of damage. I'm not quite sure how it's like perpetually swinging like that, but there we go. It's another sword heart by the think of it. Smoking Heart of Incense, that's the one. So yeah, it's helps you with your favor. Again, I didn't really use a lot of these, to be honest. I found them quite meh. But again, they might help certain people with certain playthroughs. Right, onto the sleeping canvases. We have a few bits to do. So, to explain what I'm doing, because I'm not just like sort of suiciding here. Basically, there is a way of getting that gate open, actually, which I didn't realise, and I hate this part of the game so much. Like, not the sleeping canvas, it's just that jump there. It's so horrible. But yeah, basically, if you draw blood in the right place, it'll open, which is really interesting. So I thought, oh, okay. Again, it was another one I had to sort of work out, but I wasn't too sure where to commit to it. So obviously a little bit of trial and error, but I think I got there in the end. Like I said, this is all about 2 weeks ago for me. Because like I say, when I record, I'm recording 4 or 5, maybe even 6 episodes ahead. So obviously, otherwise I'd run out of videos if I can't record for a week. Yeah, I hate this jump so much. I mean, it's partly me just being an arse, but I'll get there eventually. Come on, me. I just thought I'd take my wrath out on those statues, because why the heck not, right? I think I was just going to focus on getting back to the Prelude at this point. Yeah, I really wasn't sure where to do it because he wasn't there either. But again, I will come back to it. Don't worry. It just took me a while to figure out where to actually do it. But again, this is the one I did have to look up, and you see here, prime example. You know, you can die very easily at these earlier parts of the game, even though we've finished the game. Which it does remind me of the Souls games in that regard. You know, yes, you can waltz through certain areas a little bit more willy-nilly when you're super powerful, but you can't take things for granted. And it's very much the same with this game. Things still will kick your ass if you let them. Yeah, so it's actually here. You need the big beads of red and blue wax here as well, and then if you open the gate, if you open a wound there, it'll actually open this door to a sword heart for you, molten heart. Yeah, so it reduces the amount of health. This is probably the most useful one of the lot. It reduces the amount of health you get from a bile flask, but it gives you life when you hit something. Now, this is interesting. This is actually how you get to the end, the proper ending. You have to destroy those statues, but to do it, you need the Immaculate Bead, and you need to die 3 times with it on. And then you get to hit these Confessor statues. And the statues transport you to these like arenas, which are, I'll be honest, I didn't find any of them that hard. But again, we're very late game. And if you do all of them, I think there's 6, but there might be a few, there might be one less, I can't remember. You get a reward, and B, you actually get to unlock the end of the game, the true ending to the game. So yeah, you need the you need to get the Immaculate Bead, which most people find on the first playthrough, and you need to die 3 times wearing it, and every time it sort of accumulates guilt. And when you have the weight of true guilt, you can start going for the true ending. I think it's 3 deaths it takes. There we go, Custodia Sacrorum. So that signifies that it's over. You have to be careful here though, because like I say, if you destroy the Confessor statues, you can't recover guilt as easily unless you go to the church in Albero, or you find your guilt. And that one was in Grievous Ascends. And you get a budding sprout for that. And every time you do one, that budding sprout's going to evolve and change. And you'll see a few more of those, I think, in the next episode, because we're coming up near the end of this one now. We've got another 10 minutes or so. Cool, so we're back where olive trees wither, and I think I know which item I'm going for here, because it's there's actually a cave below that you can only get to if you have the linen. You know, the one that lets you fall into abysses. And there's a whole secret area down here, which is interesting. There's a few items here, and I had a bit of trouble getting one of them. You can get out this way as well. So yeah, your Prelude's there, so you can easily go back if you do die. There's a lot of those snakes here. I actually need to apologise because I actually came here. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. There's actually a room to the left there, and you can actually get a prayer from there. So yeah, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But I thought I'd show you the area anyway. So you get a prayer from here, and it's actually a decent one. So do explore there if you can. You get the Seta Dolorosa, which is really good. It transfers life to you every time you hit something, which is really good. Yeah, I was trying to get that Child of Moonlight, but I just couldn't figure it out. And then I think later on I realised, oh crap, I do actually have a projectile weapon. I keep forgetting I had it, because you get it so late in the game. You just forget you have it. But don't worry, I will be back for that. And that's another bone for the skeleton collection. There is actually a point to getting those bones, by the way. There is an achievement attached to it, and I believe there is a reward as well at the end. But I will be back for that, child, don't worry. Okay, so we're in the desecrated cistern. And I'm being impatient as per. But yeah, I think in total this exploration episode, episodes, took about an extra 3 hours onto the game time. And when you think that the whole game is about, you know, I could probably do it in about 12 if you know what you're doing. You know, that's a lot. That's another quarter of the game. There's another child there. And a chest as well that we missed. Yeah, the resplendent crown increases your tears taken from enemies, which is really decent. You need the nail uprooted from dirt for that one. No, we did quite a bit in the Arch Cathedral, so I can't, on the rooftops even, so I can't quite remember which one specifically this is, but I think we definitely have to drop down for it. In the next episode, we're actually going to be looking at a lot of side quests as well, so there's going to be a few side quests to finish off. Yes, you'll definitely need the tongues equipped here, which I very sillily forgot to put on. And then you get another version of Estras there, strangely. And he sort of, falls to his death. As you do. Thanks, Estras. And that is how you get this chest, and this was one of the ones that was really bugging me, because it was, this is the County Hondo of the Three Sisters. Yeah, so basically that's a room clearer. So if you want to absolutely annihilate everything on screen, that's the spell. That's the prayer you want. Ah, yes, I was looking for these Oil of the Pilgrims as well, because I wanted to increase my favor. So, like I said, I'm very sporadic, I know, and I do apologise. It's just, I'm going to have to look at the Confessor here. But, this is the problem with Blasphemous. You kind of have to do things sporadically. You can't do it in order. So this is another one of those arenas. The spike pits obviously move to the middle now, which is fine. Like I said, I didn't really find any of them that hard. I think I did die on one of them once, but I think that was through more error than actual difficulty, so to speak. It's certainly not the Colosseum of Fools in Hollow Knight. That's certainly not. I think that's the idea behind it, but I don't. It's definitely not that. If that makes sense, it's not that difficult. Cool idea, though. I think, you know, if this was part of a DLC, or you could do like a custom thing with this, I think this would be quite a good idea. I think that's going to mark the end of that one. Yeah. So that got us the heart of the single tone, which I believe is the sword heart. As Sprout becomes a grown Sprout. Now, we've still got a couple of secrets to go. I know we're near the end of the episode now, so that was the Mother of Mothers one, so that's located at the bottom of that area. And there's actually a secret passage just here, which gets you a more oil for your favor bar. Cool. Let's move on. So we're back in the Wall of Holy Prohibitions. And I entered this room and I realised there was a secret in there, so I thought I'll come out and I'll show you where it is. So it's actually the first door in that elevator area, which is quite handy. So obviously you'll need the Silvered Lung Adolphus for this. In fact, you need quite a few relics for this. You need the 3 tongues and you need the Blood Perpetuating Sand for this one. So for your effort, you get a jaw. Cool. I think we're moving on to the last secret of this episode now. So I will probably leave you here if that's okay, and we'll see you in the next episode, which will also be exploration. But like I say, it will be a few more side quests as well, so a bit more to explain as well. And there's another oil bowl. So I will see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching this exploration episode of Blasphemous, and I will see you in the next one.